Today, we are very privileged and honored to have a presentation by our member, Dianne Dupuis. Dianne is working in the innovative planning path. She's doing a level 5 elective to moderate a panel discussion. The title is Toastmasters, Where Leaders Are Made. Dianne joined Toastmasters a little over a year ago to overcome her fear of public speaking. We've heard from her a couple of times about that fear. She quickly realized that Toastmasters has so much more to offer than just learning public speaking. Dianne has learned that leadership is a large component of Toastmasters. She's passionate about learning and growth, and today she is leading a panel discussion as part of this level 5 elective project. Dianne is going to be using 25 minutes overall for her project, and the timer will provide each of the individual panelists with 2 minutes, 1.5, and 2 minutes on the cards. Please join me in welcoming Dianne, who will take it from here.
Thank you, Mel. Toastmaster, welcome, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As Connie mentioned, I have a huge passion for learning and growing and leading others to be their very best selves. So when developing this, working in this project, I really came to realize for what reasons growing my leadership skills are to serve. First of all, I'm a mom. I have 2 kids and I do everything for them. I've really come to learn that it's important that I lead my kids so that they can develop the life skills that they need so that they can be successful in life. Number 2, I'm building a business. I have big goals and I have big dreams to build a really great business. And I know that leadership is key to my success. So for those reasons, I'm really excited to be moderating today's panel with 3 very knowledgeable and experienced panelists who I'd like to introduce now. First, we have Brad. Brad Korbo is one of our distinguished Toastmasters. He's been with the club for 32 years. He is the VP of Education for Wild Oats and Wascana Clubs and VP of Membership for BLT Advanced Club. Brad has served on his club's executive 60 times since electronic records were started in 2002. Outside the club, he has served as an area director, division director, and in the top 3 leadership roles. He was District 42 director in 97 and 98. He has served as chair and participant in many District 42 committees. This year, Brad is the chair of the D42 Credentials Committee. Thank you so much, Brad, for participating in the panel today. Our next panelist is Catherine Secundiak. She has been a member of Toastmasters since 2010 and has served in many leadership roles in Toastmasters. She served numerous club officer roles, 7 years in district leadership roles, and is starting her 2nd term as region advisor with Toastmasters International. She currently supports 5 districts spanning across Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Northern Ontario, and Minnesota. As she has been growing in leadership in Toastmasters, she has also been growing in leadership in her career. She advanced from data analyst to director of strategic improvement during her time as a Toastmaster. Thank you, Catherine, for being a part of the panel. And our 3rd panelist is Leanne Woodhouse, who is currently our Area B9 director and is a member of 3 Toastmasters groups, serving on the executive of 2. She's been a member of Toastmasters since 2015 and is working on completing her dynamic leadership and persuasive influence pathways. While Leanne joined Toastmasters to work on her impromptu speaking skills, she has learned so much more through her journey in Toastmasters. Her favorite part is the opportunity for the people she has met here. Each panelist will be answering, thank you so much, Leanne, for being here and participating. Each panelist will be answering 2 questions about their area of leadership and expertise with Toastmasters. followed by some words of wisdom or tips for anybody who's just starting out or would like to know more about leading in Toastmasters. Our first panelist is Brad. Brad, in over 30 years with the club, tell us all about the leadership growth you have seen from your fellow Toastmasters as a result of volunteering in executive.
Thank you, Dianne. Just thinking about some of our past members, my memory doesn't go too far back, but just heard of one of our panelists, Catherine. She's moving all the way through all the leadership roles and moving up in her organization as well as in Toastmasters. In the past, we've had a few individuals in our club, Lacey Weeks and Ryan Bast, who were members and after moved on to take on elected roles as trustees in the local school boards in Regina. As well, my own daughter, Laurel, was a member of not this club, but the Wascana Club, and she's still a member of Toastmasters. She's achieved her Distinguished Toastmaster designation. She's volunteered not only in the executive, but as an administration manager for the district. She's an area director. Thinking whether she'll take on that role again next year. As a result of that, she's taking on leadership roles through her work. She's moved in, she was promoted to a coordinator role. She's preparing for the next level up as well. If they need somebody to take on a leadership role for the union or part of their professional organization, she's there to take on and has the confidence to do that. So really the bottom line is you're moving into the leadership roles, you're gaining more and more confidence both in communicating and taking on the leadership role itself.
Thank you, Brad. Those are really great examples of some leaders that were born in Toastmasters. Next, we have Catherine. Catherine, how have you used Toastmasters lessons in your workplace leadership activities?
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dianne. Oh, yes, I've had lots of opportunities over the 10 or so years that I've been involved with Toastmasters to directly apply what I've learned in Toastmasters to my real life. Some of the examples are related to family, even just speaking to my teenage daughters, having those more respectful conversations. That wasn't always easy, but that was definitely an area that I had an opportunity to practice in. But it was specific to more of my development at work. There's a few there. Planning and visioning has been instrumental for me over the past year or so. As I moved into the director position, I've used the pathways, visionary communication pathway to be able to create and establish my team, looking ahead, setting some visions for our team, setting some goals, and doing that collaboratively and all together. So that's been one area of opportunity, visioning, setting a vision and planning that has been really helpful right now. In the past, and I continue to use each and every day, is the effective evaluations or giving feedback. That as a new leader, as I was coming up in workers' compensation board in my role, that was an area that was quite a struggle for me to be able to give somebody some effective feedback without them taking it the wrong way or feeling like they're being judged. And through practicing with Toastmasters, providing speech evaluations on a weekly basis, that gave me some experience and some confidence to be able to not only highlight the positives that recognize people for the positives that they've been doing or things they've been doing well, but also to help them grow as leaders and employees themselves. And then the third thing is listening. Listening has been such a key skill for me that I've learned through Toastmasters. When I first joined, I came to communicate why people should listen to me and that why should others listen to me, but I learned very quickly that I can communicate more effectively if I listen to others. And really try to bring out the messages that are important to them. So planning and visioning, those effective feedback or evaluation, and listening have been the most important skills that I've taken from Toastmasters into the real world.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Catherine. Those were some really good points. I especially liked how you touched on your family and leading your teenagers. Next, we have Leanne. Leanne, what leadership opportunities are available outside of the club, outside of our club in the Toastmasters organization?
Thank you, Diane, and thanks for inviting me to be part of your panel. I think Toastmasters offers a myriad of leadership opportunities, both formal and informal outside of the club. The obvious ones, of course, make up the division and our district teams, like area director, division director, club growth director. And I think Brad and Catherine have held most of those roles multiple times over their Toastmasters career. The area director is usually your first foray into these formal positions. I remember when I first took on the role as area director, I met with Connie and she said it was the best role in Toastmasters because you got to really interact and get to know a group of clubs and work with them. You help them with any challenges they are facing, you provide a central point of contact for communication, and you lead sharing of ideas at area council meetings. You also get to help with organizing a couple contests per year. And Connie was right, by the way. Club coach is another great leadership opportunity. That's where you get to really work with the club and help them reinvigorate themselves, find new ways to grow members, and add energy to the meetings. If you're enthusiastic and you have a lot of great ideas and want to work on coaching techniques, that's a great opportunity for you to take on, and it's a check mark on your DTM. If you're a whiz at social media and you like marketing and networking, the district PR committee is another great leadership opportunity. By sharing ideas and pooling resources, we can help grow the Toastmaster brand and membership while also spreading the workload amongst some people. I think we sometimes forget that being a Toastmaster at a division event or chairing a contest, taking part in our regional club meetings, chairing a training session, those are also great leadership opportunities. More on the informal side, you get to showcase your skills while also expanding your network. It involves facilitating discussions, sharing knowledge, and keeping things running on time. I know it can be kind of daunting at times to put up your hand to take on a leadership role. It's kind of just like that first table topics question at your first Toastmaster meeting. You don't really want to step outside your comfort zone. But I really encourage people to look for and to take on these opportunities outside the club, whether it's a formal or an informal role. The best thing is there's so many wonderful people that's going to help make it a positive experience for you.
Thank you so much, Leanne. As a newer member of Toastmasters, it's really great to hear about what other leadership opportunities are available. Brad, we're back to you. How does the Toastmasters Mentorship Program support leadership development?
Thank you, Diane. In order to be an effective leader, you need to be a competent communicator. And when you join the Wild Oats Toastmasters Club and other Toastmasters clubs, you're assigned a mentor. And that mentor will lead you through and help you get started to build that confidence as a communicator as you work through each of the projects, as you take on more and more responsible roles in the club, because at the club itself, you're starting to take on leadership roles. It might be a timer or a presenter's choice at first, but then looking at table topics, general evaluator, the Toastmaster for the meeting. And so that will both help you to gain the confidence as a speaker as well as a leader. I guess the the next thing, I guess, the mentor will can work with you not just for the short term, but also for the longer term. Say that in our upcoming elections coming up in May, if you decide to take on a leadership role, then you too can have that mentor work with you to gain that confidence and get over those initial fears of taking on the role. Some of the examples of most recently, the Nicole Barber from the Civil Speakers Club asked me to be on her guidance committee for a high performance leadership program. So there's 3 members on that guidance committee, and just provided her the advice to help her through their online speechcraft. I'd had some experience with Wild Oats, so I was able to help her out a lot. With Catherine, when she was starting to work through her regional and advisor role, I was asked to be her mentor, and I agreed. At the same time, she was working through her DTM project. So we met regularly to I guess, as that mentor protege to help Catherine through that process. And she has now completed her DTM, and she is working soon into her 2nd year as a regional advisor. So there's lots of opportunities within the Toastmasters Club to develop your leadership skills, start to build your confidence as a speaker, and then as you get that confidence, you'll be more and more willing to take on those leadership roles.
Thank you so much, Brad. Those were great examples of the leadership growth through the mentorship program. I know I appreciate the mentorship program because I have the very best helping me out. She's very patient. Next, we have Catherine. Catherine, what Toastmasters activities would you suggest for someone who's looking to advance their leadership skills in their career?
This is a difficult question to answer near the end because everyone's mentioned a lot of the Toastmaster activities already, but I'll give a bit of a different perspective on it. When you first join Toastmasters and you're first learning about it, you get assigned a mentor and you're really focusing on building your own confidence and learning about communications, how the meetings run, how the program works, where are those opportunities. But very soon after that, your mentor is going to start getting you into helping others. And leadership really comes into play once you start stepping out of yourself and assisting others. So becoming a mentor yourself, those are great activities to get beyond yourself and start helping others. Working with the club executive is also a very great avenue to learn from others, get involved with a group of 7 other leaders or 6 other leaders that are there to support you, but you learn how to lead at the club level. If you're interested in growing even more up into the higher levels of leadership, it's all about your span of influence. So at the club, you have an opportunity to work with 6 other leaders and you assist the club of about 20 or so members. If you move up in Toastmasters, just like in your career, then you have a span of influence that can reach up to, say, 2,000 people. Now, that's a lot of different personalities that you need to interact with. And it's like a master's of business administration in terms of your level of commitment, your involvement, but the learning that you get from that experience is something I haven't had an opportunity to experience before, and I wouldn't give it up for anything. I wouldn't pay thousands and thousands of dollars for an MBA to get that type of experience. So really focusing on yourself when you first join Toastmasters, of course, but once you start getting outside of yourself, get involved with the club as a club leader, or if you'd like to get that higher level view, more span of influence and more creative characters that you get to interact with, then get up into the higher levels of leadership in Toastmasters. And that's what's going to help you build your confidence and your leadership skills to be able to tackle anything you face in the real world.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Catherine. My key takeaway on that one is stepping outside of yourself and getting involved more in the club to really grow those leadership skills. And our last question is Leanne. Leanne, what leadership role in Toastmasters have you enjoyed the most and why?
you. I'm going to continue along Catherine's theme. And I have to admit, up to the last couple of years, I really didn't take a lot of opportunities outside of my club. I was firmly entrenched in my own development and puttering along in the pathways path to complete my projects. And now that I've realized what I've been missing. The biggest role, obviously, that I've had outside my club is the area director role. And as I said before, it has been an absolute positive experience. From a personal development side, it's definitely put some serious cracks in that small box that was my comfort zone. I've learned so much about effective leadership and what makes clubs successful by listening and watching and attending the meetings with the clubs in my area. I've also been challenged in new ways. I did a training session at the district level, something I would never have done before. I also attended meetings and did presentations outside my area and club and even the division level. You know, through being an area director, I think some of the skills that I've got to practice include things like organizational skills, project management. Organize, a club contest or an area contest is a mini project. Event management, meeting management, and networking. But I think the biggest thing for me is I've got to meet so many great leaders, people who are doing some great things, not only in their clubs, but in their organizations and their communities. And I think that's one of the real values of stepping outside of your club is the great people that you get to meet and expand your network with. As Catherine said, I often think of leadership and personal development like a seed in a plant. A seed will stay a seed until it opens itself up to the nutrients in the soil, to the sun and the rain. And that's like personal growth. You have to open yourself up to new opportunities to continue to grow. And sometimes there's going to be windy days and days that aren't so pleasant, but you will get through them and you will continue to grow. So I do encourage people to take that next step. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leanne, for that encouragement. And also what I noted was stepping out of your comfort zone is key to growth. So we are getting down to the end of our panel discussion. I'm going to ask each panelist to just take just about 1 minute to offer some final thoughts. We'll start with Brad.
Well, thank you, Dianne. I guess looking at, sort of a final way to improve your leadership skills, the first thing to do is just to focus in on that level 1. Take advantage of your mentor to help you work through that. You'll be starting to take on some of the leadership roles within the club. Once you're getting through level 1, I think you will have the confidence to take on a club leadership role. We have our elections coming up in May. And again, your mentor can help you get started and feel a little bit more confident taking on that role once you move into it on July 1st. We also have club officer training that will help you in that role. So you won't be on your own. Your mentor, you'll have some training. So I encourage you to work through, get that basic confidence up, and then volunteer to take on a leadership role within the club. And you never know where it'll take you, maybe to regional advisor or international president.
Thank you so much, Brad. I'm really excited to progress my way through Toastmasters and see what else I can learn here. Catherine, final words.
Oh, yes. I just reinforce what Brad and Leanne have been saying about in Toastmasters, we have each other and we have our mentors that we're assigned that help us through this program to provide us the opportunities to open the door for us. In Toastmasters, there's so many opportunities. And if you're willing to open yourself up, then and say yes, you never know where it's going to take you. I had no idea first starting out, this is where I would be. I was just trying to get through like 5 speeches. That's all I really aspired to when I first joined. And, 10, 11 years later, I am involved with the world headquarters, the international leadership team. And I'm so grateful for all my friends here for the support over the years and the encouragement to help me get there. But the opportunities, the sky's the limit, and you always get support along the way. Thanks, Dianne.
Thank you, Catherine. And Leanne, one quick last word.
Say, yes, it can be daunting to take on a leadership role, to step off that cliff and to step outside your comfort zone. But I can honestly say I've never been part of an organization like Toastmasters where there's so many people who are willing and committed and ready to help you succeed. So this is a perfect group to test out those leadership muscles, to continue to grow and to push yourself, because there are people who will help make sure you're successful.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all the panelists for your participation today. Brad, Catherine, and Leanne, I really appreciate your help in this project I was working on. A couple of things I really took away from all of the answers today was, number one, every single answer included building confidence and stepping out of your comfort zone for growth, which is exactly what I did today. I decided to just start saying yes to all the roles that came to me when Brad sent the email about this particular project. I just said yes. And then I found out very shortly after what a large project it was and what a big stretch it was for me, but I was already in it, so I had to do it. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity, because this has been so much fun and I've learned so much through doing the project and listening to all the answers. So it's been a privilege to moderate this panel of experienced Toastmasters, and I've learned so much. Thank you all.
Thanks very much, Dianne. It was very enlightening. And thank you, Leanne, for quoting my words, because the area director is indeed the best job in Toastmasters once you step outside the club. I've done it a couple of times. We're going to move into our